Ruud Van Nistlerooy to Manchester United. Ineos make an approach for Ruud Van Nistlerooy to work alongside Ten Hag as an assistant, potentially with a potential plan for him to eventually replace Eric Ten Hag. Will Van Nistelrooy take the job? Will it be a good appointment? And why do Ineos want Van Nistelrooy? We will give you the latest on that. Jared Branthwaite to Manchester United. A lot of briefings, a lot of reports that Everton will not lower the fee. United will walk away and the deal could be off. But apparently United have secret confidence that they can get the deal done and they're going to put in a second bid, despite Everton's attempts to get out of PSR. We will talk about PSR and the situation ongoing around. And of course, Marcus Rashford speaking out on his form at Manchester United and his drop in form, Ten Hag, his future, and Man United less confident on Zirkzee. But let's talk about the Ruud Van Nistelrooy story first. And I do apologise, guys, if we do get any lag. My internet has just been completely off for today. But it was said by Romano, exclusive, Ruud Van Nistelrooy has been approached to be part of Eric Ten Hag's new staff at Manchester United. It's up to Van Nistelrooy, as he's a strong candidate to be the new Burnley manager, to replace company decision next week. Changes could take place in Man United staff. Now, the Muppeteers said this a couple of weeks ago that Ineos were looking at the idea of bringing in an assistant for Ten Hag, an experienced coach that's already done well in management, an actual proper good assistant for Ten Hag. So Ruud Van Nistelrooy being looked at checks out. With Ruud Van Nistelrooy, you've got someone that's worked at United before. Benny McCarthy's leaving, experienced coach, could be someone that Ineos knew as a long-term option. We will talk about that in a second. Now, Ruud Van Nistelrooy is a very good manager, did a good job at PSG, that I think he can get a good job in management. He's got the Burnley job on his doorstep. He could have other jobs lined up for him. So, does he want to manage in the Championship? Does he want to be a manager? He may go to Burnley. Would he just want to go to United because of his relationship with Manchester United? He may go to Manchester United. I think it will be difficult to beat Burnley to this, because Burnley are offering a manager job with maybe better wages. We're offering him an assistant job where we're not saying you'll be manager. We're just saying you can be assistant for a couple of years when he's just been a manager of PSV and did a good job. So there's definitely potential that he could look more towards the Burnley job and more towards staying in management. But it is one to keep an eye on in Ruud Van Nistelrooy to United. I actually wrote some notes on him. I think he's a very good coach. And one thing is, obviously, he worked with Branthwaite at PSV. So if Branthwaite comes in, we know that he's familiar with the player and could work with him, who's a priority of Ineos. I mean, we did a really good job at PSV. Not only did he play good football, but they lost key players like Madueke and Gakpo in that time, and he adapted really well. He made a really good PSV side, playing attractive football. When you listen to him in interviews, his understanding of the game is very good. Helps that he's fluent in English, obviously helps that he knows the club. He'll know he could be a good option to replace Benny McCarthy and get the best out of Højlund. I think, was it Van Nistelrooy or Van Persie that spent a week at Carrington, and then that's when Højlund went on his crazy scoring streak, potentially using his Dutch links to draw in someone like Zirkzee as a striker coach. But I think, if you've got him as a coach that's, helping the strikers, focusing on the strikers, he can get the best out of the likes of Højlund, potentially Zirkzee, but he knows the club, he knows what to expect from the club, he's fluent in English, he likes the club, he's an experienced manager, he's worked with certain players we want to bring in. And, if you look at sort of other sports like NFL and all of that, apparently top coaches being brought in as assistants in other sports is very common, and it often not only helps the team and adds, expertise to the team tactically and ideas and concepts, but it can be used as a contingency plan. If Ten Hag starts to not work, Ruud Van Nistelrooy could take the helm and be the manager as well. So, you've got a very clever coach that could be part of a contingency plan, which has been used regularly in other sports, who's, adapted well to, losing key players at PSV. And I think he'd be a good option for United. Whether he goes to Man United or not, I'm not sure. But I'm so open for this move. I'd love to see Ruud Van Nistelrooy at Manchester United. Now, one player who I think will be at United next season, and one player I really hope gets back to his best at Man United next season, is Rashford. And this is what was said on Marcus Rashford. Rashford knows Ten Hag really rates him. He knows he underperformed last season, but has been telling friends that he's going to come back strong next season. He knows a new manager could have come in and got rid of him. He doesn't want to go anywhere, and he wants to get back to his best. And I think that's good news. And I know a lot of people want to sell Rashford, and I'm a bit anti-Rashford, and I was disappointed with Rashford last season because of, I think, the Belfast antiques. I think there was times where I don't think he was given 100% of tracking back, but I will never doubt Marcus Rashford's ability. He got 30 goals last season. I'm not going to write off a guy that got the season before, technically now. I'm not going to write off a guy that got 30 goals. He's been in our Player of the Season nominees 3 out of the last 5 seasons. He's hot and cold, Rashford. He's hit and miss. He has good seasons, bad seasons. But when you look at Anthony, you look at Sancho, you look at what all of our wingers have offered Man United over the years, no one's offered more than Marcus Rashford over the years. So for me, if we can get Marcus Rashford back in form, that's important for me. It's a shame we couldn't get Elise, but I think an informed Marcus Rashford's a good player. We know he can get back in form. He's done it before. We know there's a good player. I think We need to back Rashford. We need to get behind him. I think he is overhated. I can understand frustration with him, but I think he's such an overhated player, and you can see how much England miss him. He was so important for England in the World Cup and other major tournaments. You can see how much England miss him because he's got 23 goal contributions and 26 starts for England. 17 goals and 26 starts for England. Foden's got 4 goals and 26 starts for England on the left wing. So, we see his importance for England. So hopefully Rashford can get back to his best. Now, one player I want to see Man United sign, and to be honest, I'm in this position now where I just want to see Man United go out and sign someone now. Do you know what I mean? We are, June 23rd? June 24th in a couple of hours. The transfer window's been open 10 days. Ineos wanted to get 2 deals done early. They wanted to get business done early. Branthwaite isn't at the Euros. PSR deadline closes on June 30th. I want to see Man United get Jared Branthwaite. But, I've had a few doubts over this. Personal terms are agreed. We clearly want the player, but it, again, depends on Everton lowering the fee. But Man United are preparing a second offer for Branthwaite, which is apparently believed to be in the region of £50 million. It was said by the Sunday Express that Manchester United are keen to improve Eric Ten Hag's defence, but have found the valuations on Premier League stars such as Branthwaite, Gay and Kilman to be unrealistic, and that is the big problem. Clubs are inflating their prices because it's Manchester United. They know Mr. Down Todibo. They know we probably won't get Lenny Euro. And I think Elise's off the market, Tossen's off the market, Lenny Euro's unlikely, Todibo's unlikely. We need to move and get a move on a Jared Branthwaite because I think, this transfer window is going to be difficult. It's going to be hard to get players for the right fees and the right players and spend on the right players, and it's a difficult job that Ineos need to do. But for me, I really want to get Branthwaite in, but for the right price, of course. If we can't get Branthwaite for the right price, I would love to see us, pursue a deal Monday or something as well. Going into this story by LA Matthews saying, and this is on Wan-Bissaka maybe being sold for like 8 million. He's saying possibly the single best one-on-one defender in the world for less than 10 million euros, but Chelsea, Villa and Newcastle swapping academy players with no first team experience for 25 million euros a pop. PSR is cooked, scrap the whole thing. And I think LA Matthew is completely right here. And I want to say something. Man United, everyone talks about the money we spent. Man United couldn't sign a left back in January because of PSR. Man United couldn't get a striker to help Højlund because of PSR, because we've been obeying the rules. Maybe also Glazers being tight, finances being tight. We're selling Wan-Bissaka for the £8 million. We sold one of the best, highest rated academy prospects in Alvaro Fernandez, who won awards for £6 million. And Chelsea are just selling players for 20 million, or Aston Villa selling players for 20 million. I understand, £6-7 million academy deals, but 20 million I think is crazy. And people are like, oh, but you spent 20 million on Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo had ridiculous amounts of competition in for him and crazy people in for him. And actually, it was all add-ons. We've only spent 16 million on him. And look, we overpaid for Amad Diallo, but there was a crazy amount of add-ons in that deal. It's like Estavio, there was a lot of competition for him. Endrick, there was a lot of competition for him. There's not been competition for Kellyman. And I think, Premier League clubs are, really sort of finding loopholes around this PSR thing. And, spending so much money on academy players when, we can't get 8 million for Lindelof and we can barely get 8 million for Wan-Bissaka. It's a reflection of the rules being bent and also a reflection of how bad United are at selling and how people like to take advantage of us because of the 18 years of mismanagement by the Glazer family. Now, the last story, and this isn't a surprising story and it doesn't necessarily mean anything yet, but Romano has again said that Zirkzee's priority is Milan. He believes Zirkzee's priority is Milan. We'll have to wait and see what happens as well. But I do think that, Zirkzee is a difficult one. If AC Milan aren't going to pay the finances to bring him in, he doesn't really have a choice. He could end up at United. But I do think deep down he probably prefers AC Milan to United. There was reports of Manchester United also going in for Nico Williams today, but they believe that the salary in the deal could be too expensive with agent fees. And that's the frustrating thing. Players are asking for ridiculous salaries. Agents are asking for ridiculous fees. Nico Williams, if he lowers his wages, I'd be all over that. If Neto could stay fit, all over it. If Nico Williams would lower his wages, all over it. Now Elise is off the market, I would look at Desiree Doué, Xavi Simons. I like Bakayoko as well. He's a good player there. Sule's a good player, but I really do hope that we get a winger in as well. But Nico Williams, I can't see happening because of the wage demands. Zirkzee, I think he probably wants Milan, but Man United apparently are secretly confident that they can get a deal done for Zirkzee. They can get a deal over the line for Zirkzee. And all of that stuff as well. But big up everybody in the chat. Please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video. See you next time, and bye.